Flying by here at the Wells Fargo Arena State Championship. 152 we go, gentlemen. Dittmer and Coleman, I give you those. Southeast Polk, Dittmer, Marcus Coleman from Ames on the 3A match. Tristan Johnson, Osage, Chase Straw of Indianapolis, and Bryce Paul of Alburnett. Sawyer Amling of Edgewood-Colesburg. I was just helping you out, giving you a break, Mark.
Well, it's awful nice, yeah. Thank you. My water bottle's about empty.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I thought they came around. They said they were gonna get us another one.
Right now here on that 1A mat, we got Bryce Paul, as you mentioned, from Alburnett. Alburnett's had 2 finalists so far out of their 4, and both of them losing. I know they got that team race locked up right now, but I guarantee you, Coach Kane Thompson sitting down in that corner is not happy right now. There's Bryce Paul in on a shot, trying to finish. Again, he's wrestling Sawyer Amling of Edgewood-Colesburg. Amling is a senior. Paul is a junior. Bryce Paul placed second here last year. Oh, there's Marcus Coleman of Ames with a 2-point takedown over Briar Dittmer of Southeast Polk. These guys have both wrestled this year twice, and they've split.
It has become something of a lost art, remembering someone's face, remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
I'm a veteran.
I'm a city boy.
I am a small town girl.
I'm a builder.
I'm a volunteer.
I am a mentor.
I am a teacher.
I'm a kid.
I'm a kid at heart.
I'm an Iowan.
I'm a banker.
I am an Iowa banker.
No matter who you are, there is an Iowa banker who is ready to help you get where you want to go. Get to know a real Iowa banker and discover the genuine difference of Iowa banks.
Watching the Iowa High School State Wrestling Tournament, brought to you by Farm Bureau. Iowa Farm Bureau, as the sole title sponsor of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to champion Iowa's youth and all they have to offer this great state. Back to the wrestling, guys.
Over here in the Class 2A match, the first period, 25 seconds left to go. That's Chase Straw of Independence. He's placed third here twice before. He's a senior now. He's out to a 2-0 lead. He's taking on Tristan Johnson of Osage, who's a junior. Chase Straw, an awfully good wrestler out of Independence. Coming into this match, he's 45-1 on the season. Right down in front of us, the end of the first period. This one is Bryce Paul leading by a score of 3-2 over Sawyer Amling of Edgewood-Colesburg. And on that 3A mat over there, still in the first period, it's 2-1 in favor of Coleman. Marcus Coleman of Ames over Briar Dittmer of Southeast Polk. And as I mentioned, they wrestled each other twice this year. They split 1-1. Dittmer won actually by a score of 13-1 in the Ed Winger, but then got beaten overtime at the CIML. Little interesting information about Dittmer down there. Look at him and figure out what he wants to do for college. Talk to him what he wants to do for college. He said he's going to Missouri Valley College for bull riding school. He is a rodeo. He likes that bull riding.
Yeah. Sure he's not from Ogden?
Old Jesse Sundell, I know, was into that. That's just something you don't see every day. They're just trying to scramble hard, come around, but ran out of time against Coleman there. In that first period, 2-1. Bryce Paul of Alburnett up by a score of 4-2, and really whipped over. There is the fall.
Upper left.
That is tight. Boy, did Alburnett need that.
That's a big one. Upper left corner there in 1A, if you guys saw that.
Wow. Came right up to their feet, kind of off of a single leg. Amling was hanging his head, and Bryce Paul just pretty much just tore it off. Wow. And it was one of those situations where the referee got down to counter it to about 2 and just slapped the mat. Wow, did Alburnett need that?
Those team standings keep rolling. You see Alburnett in control down there, but you know, Amling came into this thing, he wrestled really well last night, Mark, an undefeated wrestler from Edgewood-Colesburg, and that thing was over in a hurry. That's probably the biggest move that we've seen tonight. We do have a replay, I do believe, coming up You'll see it in the 1A box.
Watch where he's coming up off of this single, and then an overhook right there. Tries lifting, but hangs his head, and Bryce Paul just rips it off right there, going into a kind of like a half whip over action right there. That's pretty tight, Coach.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of a double trouble, and it definitely ended up in trouble for one side. So a lot of times you see that from the knee, but he did it from the feet, a standing one, and it makes it look that much more spectacular, obvious.
Well, took the breath away of the fans here. That's probably one of our biggest moves of the night here. As we still got matches
for another
going.
fall over here on the 2A mat. That's Chase Straw of Indianola against near fall points against Tristan Johnson of Osage. Chase Straw, that is tight too, and there is the fall.
Wow.
For Chase Straw of Independence. He gets that eluded state championship 2/3 and now a first.
He's gonna go get coached.
Congratulations to him and Coach Doyle. Very nice.
Some action in 152 here.
Coach Doyle and Coach Keith Donnelly. Now we're over here to the 3A mat. That's a nice shot. There's some power right there out of Marcus. Marcus Coleman showing some serious power right there, getting on that double and just using all arms and hands, sucking it in and taking Dittmer's feet right off the mat. Whoa. Wow, look at these guys going at it.
Two more, yeah. Hit a roll, and he got himself in trouble. But, you know, he's going for, needs some points. He's desperate.
Dittmer from Southeast Polk on the bottom right now. Coleman from Ames on top, 7-1 here in the second.
Dittmer senior, Marcus Coleman of Ames leading right now 7-1. Marcus Coleman of Ames, only a sophomore. Dittmer, the nice standing switch right there. Good job by kind of eluding, getting his hips out and away to run with his feet, and then coming into him hard with the switch, some switch action.
Yeah, if he'd get that takedown right in the last 3 seconds, he'd put him back in it, but another period to go.
Marcus Coleman is, like I mentioned, he's only a sophomore. Last year he did not place in the tournament here. He also plays football and track. You can tell he's an athlete.
We're talking about Pizza Ranch, of course, one of our proud sponsors, and they're going to be giving us the most outstanding wrestlers in each class, 1A, 2A, and 3A. So Pizza Ranch, of course, legendary food, attentive service, and community focus. And then our most outstanding wrestler being brought to you by Mid-American. Mid-American does this such a great job. So after we get the wrestlers figured out from the 3 classes, we'll go to the outstanding wrestler tournament, brought to you by Mid-American, putting the power, energy, and efficiency in your hands. Mid-American Energy. For more savings tips, go to midamericanenergy.com. So we still go here on 3A, Dittmer and Coleman. Coleman on top, 7-2.
Stall warning there on Coleman on the top. Obviously just not improving his position. You know, the top guy, he's obligated to improve his position, work for the fall. Can't ride parallel. Referee just obviously didn't think he was doing enough to try and turn Dittmer. Dittmer immediately out for a 1-point escape there with 1:20 to go. There's Coleman trying to get back in on that double. Reshot right there, picks him up, puts him down again.
Yeah, it was the second effort. Missed, then he went right back into it instead of waiting. So that was kind of his setup, that first shot to the second one. Chain wrestling is so valuable. It never really has to stop. It can be just one chain. And those are the best matches, but usually there's somebody letting up, gaining their position, whatever. But sometimes even low-scoring matches can be chain wrestling, but that's with usually 2 very equal and active wrestlers.
Well, Coach, over the years talking to you too, you say there's nothing better than when you've got 2 kids getting ready to wrestle, no matter what level, and they both think they're going to win.
No, that's my favorite matches because usually somebody has a little doubt in there, and if there's no doubt, then you're going to see that when I'm talking about that chain. And that's the best way to compete. It's just hard to do it. It's just hard to do it. He's just pulling those legs right back up. That time just in a riding situation, but he's almost out.
Coleman on top, just a sophomore from Ames.
Coleman just doing a great match. Just solid match for Coleman. Doing a really good job on top here. Tension releases him. 1 point escape, and he's going to win. He's going to get a state championship after a 9-5 win. Marcus Coleman of Ames, only a sophomore. Probably going to see a lot more of him in the future here in the state finals on Saturday night.
A lot of fireworks in that 152 with Straw and Paul getting some pins early on. We'll be back with more wrestling from Wells Fargo Arena on the Fairway Championship Network.
Presenting the awards in Class 1A, Coach Kane Thompson. 8th place, Lane Boonder, Sigourney Kyoto. 7th place, Brady Charbonneau, Logan Magnolia. 6th place, Josh Hopkins, East Mills. 5th place, Logan Schumacher, Martinsdale St. Mary's. 4th place, Dakota Drenth, Hartley Melvin Sanborn. 3rd place, Zach Axmere, English Valleys North English. Runner-up, Sawyer Amling, Edgewood-Colesburg. And your 152-pound champion, Class 1A, from Alburnett, Bryce Paul. Presenting the 2A awards, Assistant Coach Keith Donnelly. 8th place, Reed Nichols, Atlantic. 7th place, Luke Barr, Iowa Falls, Alden. 6th place, Zach Bruns, North Fayette Valley. 5th place, Michael Neal, Benton Shellsburg. 4th place, Garrett J., Grinnell. 3rd place, Grant Sherman, Sadell. Runner-up, Tristan Johnson, Osage. And your Class 2A 152-pound champion from Independence, Chase Straw. Presenting the awards in 3A, Coach Andy Fecht. 8th place, Nick Oddie, Fort Madison. 7th place, Connor Coyle, Sioux City North. 6th place, Seth Walker, Waverly Shell Rock. 5th place, Matt Malcolm, Glenwood. 4th place, Jacob Woodard, Bettendorf. 3rd place, Josh Davis, Des Moines East. Runner-up, Briar Dittmer, Southeast Polk. And your Class 3A 152-pound champion from Ames, Marcus Coleman.